Hello everyone, VegasVic1965. This week's video, we're coming at you from the AlphaCraft server, where this week I'm going to show you some updates of what I've done in my progress here in AlphaCraft, as well as some of the things we're doing, like some nether tunnels, and some tips and tricks on what I do in order to get all the experience, all the emeralds, and everything that I need right here in my base before I go out adventuring. So without further ado, let's find out. Welcome back everyone, VegasVic1965. This is my nether tunnel. Down that way I have my Bigly trading post, also some areas that I've gone to do some mining for netherite ingots. I just finished this up this past couple of days. Kind of like how it turned out. It looks extremely bright for a nether, I guess you'd say. And then I believe it might be Indy that is working on this. And what jump scare. What I've done is I saw that he was working his way back here. I'm going to show you the progress he's done. And I dug the rest of this out all the way down to our mining district. So I'm not quite sure the pattern he's going for, if it's just random, or does he have a certain pattern that he's using. But as you can see, he's using the, what is that, the muddied, from the swamps, the mangrove area. F3, it's called the muddy mangrove roots. So I did drop off some for him. Some supplies, and I'm willing to help. I just don't know if there's a rhyme or reason, or is he just randomly putting these together, if it is Indy. But I dropped off a number of things that should be able to help, hopefully. I'm getting some more of these for him too, oxidized copper. I've got a bunch out at my base that are drying out as we speak. I actually made a mud farm at my place. I know AlphaCraft has one, Phasmo told me, but I'm going to be doing some mud work out at my base, and I think it'd be a lot easier if I just built one. And the one I built was from jjaaxxthelegend. Him and Wild have a channel together. If you haven't seen him, I'll put some links down in the description for his mud farm. I'll probably show that in just a little bit, but I won't show the tutorial. He did the tutorial. So if you wanted to build something like that, his mud farm is really good. My guess is that Phasmo probably, in the gang, probably used Jax's. Could be something different. This is our nether hub. Amazing, isn't it? It is really something else. Some great ideas out here. There's 4 different ways, and you think you drop. No, it's glass. It's really, really incredible down here. Oh, at any rate, we are going to go to the central hub. This is the AlphaCraft central hub. We got a train station which will take you to a number of different places, including, I believe, that mud farm. Yeah, clay farm, copper farm, iron farm. What is it called? Iron farm alone. Departures and arrivals. Every time I see departures and arrivals, it reminds me of that movie, Luck. Recently came out. We do have a post office. They've set up some challenges too around here that you can actually pick up if you're looking, because we have the Blazing Caves. There's the mail room. Nothing in my mailbox. There's a community iron farm. I may have shown this in the past. Puma's got something going on up there. I know he had built some things. A lot of shops in here. I'm going to have to sleep soon. Beautiful tree. But there is somebody down here who wanted something that I have quite a bit of. So I'm going to try and sell this off to him or her. Here we are. And I think I am going to sleep first. I need blocks and I have diamonds. Let's see what we got here. Oh, look at that. I can fill that right on up. Actually, I guess what I should have done was probably grabbed all the diamonds and then filled up the chest. 24 diamonds. Nice. Might have to come back and get more stuff to sell. Because I'm not really a miner. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you what, spawn looks absolutely gorgeous. I joined late in the season. Actually, yeah, late in the season and in season 4. Philly off in the gang and invited me in, and Bunny. But it's gorgeous. I think I've shown this off before. Got a plane wreck, kind of like a train wreck. Beautiful work by some amazingly talented people here. Pit of Despair. I know Stina had recently finished up a massive, massive hole. Oh, that's a charged creeper, isn't it? I'm not going to get too close to that guy. And that massive hole, I guess she's going to reveal soon what she's going to be doing with it. I know I helped a teensy tiny bit, like 0.01%. What do we got here? This memorial is dedicated to all of our fallen comrades. Oh, really nice. Puma's place up here. I know he was working on something like a mirror effect, and I think it came out really, really nice. Oh, yeah, that's gorgeous. Puma, good job, brother. I wish I had half the talent that these guys have. Surprised they invited me. Pretty boring. Anyway, we're going to head back to my place, show you some progress that I've done, and then we'll take a look at some tips that I use every time I start a world, and what I do to continue to even repair my items, get all the emeralds I need. Take a look at that in a sec. Now, I moved my tree farm down underground because I didn't want to take up the space that I needed for all the stuff that I was going to be doing with the villagers, and I have quite a few new additions since my last video on AlphaCraft. I've added in a automatic pumpkin and melon farm. Not my design. There's so many people that have made designs similar to this, many ones, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that have stolen some of those ideas and put up them themselves. But I believe El Mango was probably the one that tackled this first. I don't know if it's his design. I can't remember where I got it, but I wanted to give one of my tips and tricks is when I'm ready and I need to get all the experience I need, want to repair all my tools and things, then I use these farmers right here. Now, I zombified them once, just needed once, and I got them down, the pumpkins and melons are down to just 1 each. So whenever I need to repair anything, it's super fast and super simple, and to get all the experience I need as well. Let's just pick this tool, this one here. Especially when you're working out your base, why run off to what really is an excellent farm, and that's an Enderman farm? But I mean, it's so far away to go all the way over there to fix your tools. When I'm doing all my work, you'll see in a moment from up top, by using these villagers, it helps me repair all these tools so much faster and get any experience that I need as well. Pickaxe to take care of. Now, optimally, there's another SMP I play on as well. Lena Han I played with. We joined up together, and we found out that the most optimal method is to have 8 of these guys. I'm sorry, 16. 16 of these farmers. And of course, you don't always guarantee to get a pumpkin trade. So if you're going to do something like this, unfortunately, you have to send a few back to the factory. Because you may end up with like an apple trade or something like that instead of the pumpkin. So if you really want this farm to be effective for experience and for repairing your tools and all your gear, then you really need that pumpkin trade in that slot. So once you get the ones with the pumpkins, that's the time to start leveling them up, because once you see that pumpkin, you're actually good to go. You're always going to get the melon trade. So I guess that once you trade them out the first one, and usually what I will do, my go-to is to find an emerald trade with the bread, because you're going to need bread anyway to breed these villagers. Some people like to use carrots and potatoes. I just think it takes up a lot of time farming all those things, even if you set up an auto. If you just get this, you're good to go, because that will level them where you need them to be to see if they have a pumpkin trade. Once they have that, you stop. And like I said, 16 is the optimal. I do have room to put more around here. So I may or may not do that, because right now I'm doing pretty good and I've got a lot of things done around the area that I needed. The storage area is down here for all of those pumpkins and melons. And recently, because I wanted to get some of the warped and the crimson products, that I made this, and this is Zuma's design. If you don't know who Zuma is, you're living under a rock. He plays on Hermitcraft. Been there for a very long time, and this is a very easy farm to get you all of the different things that you might need for the stems, decoration blocks. And he's right, it just produces a ton. It really produces a ton. Underneath I have a dispenser that has a lot of the bone meal that we need, and anything that I don't need I just drop back in here. It cycles back into the system and provides more bone meal. But that's actually what I was after to begin with, because it is quite tedious to constantly set down good bone meal to get those little things to make the trees themselves. I moved the sugarcane farm down here as well, so I could do more work up top and save some space. And here are there's all the copper that I've actually set out. I almost have another stack. I'm going to take it and drop it off as well. Probably set up another chest. I've been working on kind of rustifying the pathways, as you can see. Made a little bridge. Like I said, the people that play on the server are twice as good as I am. I just wish I had half their talent to be able to build a lot of these things. But I figured I'd just put a little spillway to where the water's done seeped under, and created like a little river area here. But this is the area I first started out and realized it's going to take way too long to get all of the I guess you call them saplings, warp saplings, that I needed. So making Zuma's farm really helped. But if this is your first time watching me, then you'll know that I found out very early in the game that my passion for villagers was unsated. So unsatiable. I have tons of them. I have all the different enchants I need for the librarians here. Everybody else pretty much runs free. I feel a little bad for these guys here that I can't let them run free, because it would be far too difficult to chase down what you needed. So I left them in their little cubicle in here, little work area. Gave them a little bit of room. Now I have blacksmiths up top. I've kind of blocked them off because I'm trying to get them to get acclimated to where their living conditions are at, because they've been going all over the place, landing in different types of beds. So I've almost got it set to where I believe whenever nighttime hits, they'll go to their own beds, which is just up here. And then I'll take out those partitions so they can travel back and forth. I have enough light, but I kind of like the carpet area, so I put the carpet in. This is the wellspring that goes up and provides all the water to the whole area here. Probably moving way too fast. But I have my blacksmiths up here, weaponsmiths over here. I think I did like 6 of each, 5 or 6 of each. A little chapel over there for the clerics. And the masons have 2 different huts, so I have 10 masons. I've got a number of different meeting areas, leather workers that I really don't use. A lot of these designs you could probably see on my Mesa village. This design right here is actually for the Mesa village. A number of them are. My sheep farm over in here. And I think one of the first episodes I did here was to get some allays. Unfortunately, there's a bug where the bees will wander off. The allays will wander off unless they're carrying something. And if they are carrying something, they're going to follow you around. So, and the frogs, same thing. So I kind of gave them their own little habitat. And I love it when they dance around when the music's being played. Absolutely cute. It's just unbelievably cute. I kind of blended in a little bit of a mesa. I'm not quite finished yet. I'll probably do some more blending of that. This was the large house from my Mesa Village series. Oh, have a piece of cake. Cactus farm out over here. That actually goes down to the villager area. So whenever I want to bring a zombie in, like for the next batch that I'm going to be doing for the farmers, I'll probably open that back up and bring me a zombie back in. Like I said earlier, I moved the tree farm down there. I moved the sugarcane farm down there. I wanted to have more room up here for almost like a city instead of a village. I built this giant structure in the middle on a single player world, and I used Lightmatica to bring it in so I could build it correctly. If you don't know what Lightmatica is, it's an excellent tool that will actually be able to copy your schematics and bring them into another world to use. Either, for example, if you're on a server and you wanted to upload a structure into like a spawn area, works great. Or if you're looking for to build something that you've built on single player and you wanted to bring it over and build it correctly the very first time, that Lightmatica is great. I'm using some of that in some of my tutorials. Now, as promised, this is Jax and Wild's mud farm. I mean, it's really, really amazing. I actually took a look because I know I'm doing some work on my base and I need some of the mud, also some of the mud blocks. And Frilioth had mentioned to me that they have one. It's spawned, just take the railways. But I really didn't want to go back and forth, so I found Jax's, and I thought, what better way to show off his farm than to my viewers? And I'll show you a little bit about this farm, and in case you do build it, some mistakes that you may run into. Gonna make sure that it's covered up there. Like Jax mentioned, that the bottles could pop out. So, and he also puts a glass block. I highly recommend that. But one of the things I ran into was you could be busy here and not paying attention and accidentally click that repeater back there. He mentions that it needs to be, you need to click it twice, so it's like 3 ticks. Because if not, what happens is you'll get extra bottles to come out. So if that's happened to you, you've watched the video, you followed the tutorial that he did, and you can't figure out what's going on there, double check to make sure that that is on 3 ticks. That's, you set down the repeater and click on it twice. That way you don't get a bunch of extra bottles. Also, if you go too far, it'll lock up. Just break the dirt blocks and set them back down again, and you'll be able to continue on. But that one, I know I'm not great with redstone, but I figured that out, that I had accidentally, while I was over here placing the dirt like this, that I accidentally somehow clicked that repeater and it reset to a single tick. And so I had extra bottles coming out of here. But this farm by Jax, I'm going to link it down in the description in case you'd like to see him see his tutorial on this. It is truly amazing, and it's really helping me, and I'm also helping whoever it is that's building in the nether tunnels. I'm providing them some of the mud that they probably need just to help out. Now, this is my withered skeleton farm. It is not my design, so we're not going to be doing any tutorials on this. This is actually coming from Logical Geek Boy, who made this design. I changed it out a little bit. His design that I followed actually showed, I guess that's what the one putting out the carpet so you don't get the magma cubes spawning in there. And then he has a lot of the pigmen and the blazes dropping on cactus. I left one open so I could actually get some materials that I needed from this. And in past times that I've actually built this, I used all 4 and dropped them down and just went around and collected all the stuff I needed. I felt like it was a waste of resources. But to this date, I think he did this video I want to say a couple years ago, and it's still working absolutely fantastic. But now this here is my design. I actually have a video on that. It enables you to hold the experience pack, which will last about 5 minutes, until you're ready. So if you're on Bedrock, for instance, and you need to repair something, I've already repaired everything with one shot. But if you need to repair something, you can actually leave that experience up there. It just consists of some iron trapdoors. Don't use wood if you're going to build this, because you may accidentally flip one open. And if you use it for like a zombie spawner, then the little guys can get out and get you. So I always make it a point to use the iron trapdoors. And you set up fences in here. Now it doesn't look like it. That looks like that's higher, but it still holds back the experience, as you can see. So it's an excellent way, because I know bedrockers can't put tools in their offhand, but you could just move over to the tool that you needed to have repaired, step in, and get the experience to repair that tool. So great for bedrockers and also for Java. I know I've had a lot of people in the past that, oh, I just switch over really quick. Well, there's really no reason to if you do this, because you have to build a kill chamber anyway. This just happens to be a better kill chamber design. Again, that video is on my channel if you want to see how I have built this, but you should be able to see it and build it just by looking at it. Hello, experience. Whoop, we're going to repair the sword. There we go. I'm going to go up and take a look and show you what I swapped out, so I have a lot less blaze and a lot less pigments, zombified pigmen. That all blocked up so they can't see me. Well, I haven't done it yet. Actually, what I plan on doing is probably taking a number of the solid blocks that you see out, and I'm going to replace them with dirt, and I'll put down some wither roses. So I'll leave a small section, probably over here where the drop is, that I'm using currently for blazes and zombified pigmen. But in the meantime, I'll probably end up just taking out most of it and putting in wither roses. And what that does is it actually will increase the drop, or increase the number of wither skeletons that you'll get in your drop chamber, as opposed to all the blazes and zombified piglins. Now my collection area was kind of fun, and I used quite a bit of fire resistance potions to get down here and to build it underneath here with the lava. I wanted the effect. I thought it looked pretty neat, so I figured I'd just go for it. Easy sorting system. Everybody's done this. I even have one on my channel showing how to do the sorting system, the old-fashioned kind. It works great. I need to start bringing some of this stuff back with me. Quite a bit. And I got a little trash can here too. Oh yeah, we could use that. Whoops, I'm picking them back up. But I kind of like this lava field down in here. It was pretty neat. Anyway, sounds like we have a lot of company up here, and decorated out a little bit. Anyway, we're going to head back to another farm that I built. Again, not my design, but it produces a ton of things that I need. Now, if you're wondering what this is, yes, it is a frog light farm. I do not remember. I'd make a great politician, wouldn't I? Can't seem to remember things. I don't know. I can't remember who this design came from, but again, it's not my farm. But it does produce a ton of frog lights. We are on the nether roof, and if you ever do build on the nether roof, one of the things you want to remember is make sure you spawn-proof the tops of things so you do not get any gas spawning up here, ruining your builds and things. But as you can see, I do rather well. I don't remember exactly how many frogs I put in there. Might be 4 of each. We'll take a quick little peek. Oops, too far. Yeah, it was 4 of the different frogs, and having access to the nether roof makes it so much easier getting them where you need to get them. Of course, there's a video. I got a whole video on the frogs themselves, but they are from different biomes. Getting the frogs spawning themselves and taking them to those biomes. Anyway, that's for another video. If you want to see something about the frogs, I do have a video on that. But this farm produces a ton of frog lights that I've been using, and also we're using some in the nether tunnel. So I do need to try and remember to bring a bunch. I think is the pearlescent is that he's using for the backdrop on some of the lights. He's using the verdant for some of the ones that are, some of the ones that are on the ceiling. That's probably enough that you could use. I know that they had mentioned that they had. I was looking for frog lights. Somebody on the server said they had, in Discord said that they have a frog light. I couldn't find it. Otherwise, I would have gone there and bought it. And I searched and searched and searched, couldn't find it. So I just decided, all right, the heck with it. I'm just going to build one. And it produces a ton. And actually, I could probably improve this by make it more circular. I thought about doing that. And if I decide to, that's probably what I'll do. I think some videos have a minecart rail track going under there. I went with the just all the hoppers. And if you're playing on a server that limits the number of chest hoppers, furnaces, and things like that, you want to be careful because that's quite a bit. Any exposed hoppers, you probably want to put something like an oak block or a crafting table, something on there so it doesn't hurt the server TPS. Well, one of the last things I want to show is my panda habitat. It's got some axolotl and it's got some frogs in here. The frogs actually found their way over, and of course we have some parrots. But I've got pairs. I've got 2 playful, 2 lazy, 2 brown, and 2 angry, and then I have 1 normal panda. Quite a bit of work to get them over here from where they were at. But at any rate, I want to thank you very much for spending the time with me. If you watched this to the end, for spending the time watching the fruits of my labors on the AlphaCraft server. We have a lot of excellent content creators on here. I'll put a link in the description for Frilioth and the gang and Bunny. If you haven't had a chance to watch Bunny, Frilioth, and Porky play Phasmophobia and a number of other things they do, Skyblock, Minecraft, I'll put a link down there to their Twitch channels so you can check them out. They are truly so much fun. They have all kinds of activities they do on there. I know when I have time, that's my go-to for entertainment. So I want to thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, click the like button. If you want to subscribe for past or future videos, click that subscribe button. It really helps me and lets me know that I provide great quality content for you guys each and every week. So until next week's video, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.